Okay, perfect. So this is...
I don't know about food like that. I just eat. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to ask the chefs. Chef, is it the same here? Do you have very lean mince? Very lean mince. So we mixed it with pork.
The chef said yes. So what are you saying?
Give her the mic so that she can advise properly.
See, I know more about food than you guys do. And you were going, ah.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so the garlic?
Garlic and ginger.
Ginger, okay.
We have some spring onions, which I'm going to add. Usually, if you make this at home, it would obviously be a very big batch, but for demonstration purposes, it's quite small. So you mix that in. And then you make sure you have your seasoning. Where's the salt?
Salt?
I'm looking for salt, and if I can't find it, I've got some soy sauce which will do the job. But salt is actually quite... Plenty of salt. Too late. Let's place it there. That's fine. A little bit of salt. And if I hadn't added the soy sauce, then I'd add some pepper to it as well. You can add diced peppers, you can add carrots, you can add literally anything you want to make this patty. All right, now I'm just going to form it into a bowl. Okay. Is it hot? Perfect. You did see I washed my hands, hey? Did you see? If you were here a little bit earlier, you would have seen me. It's first things we do. You saw me.
That's all that matters.
Very important. So you're going to put a little bit of oil for me there.
Okay. Yay.
She gets to cook.
This one?
Yep, a little bit. So my pan is really hot. Ideally, you would use normal vegetable oil, not olive oil.
Is this okay?
That's enough, yes.
All right.
Because vegetable oil, like canola or all the other vegetable oils, can take the heat a lot more than olive oil. All right? Yeah. And please never make puffs with olive oil. We know that, right?
No one does that, no.
Don't be fancy and make puffs with olive oil. It will puff you up.
We deep fry the puff in normal oil.
Not normal oil. All right, that's my first patty done.
All right.
And I'm going to do the second one.
Okay. So do we have a question so far? Have a question? Okay, let's have the gentleman at the other end. Thank you.
Do we have the cooked pasta?
Pasta, the ramen?
Yes. Thank you. Let's put that on the pot.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah. My question is, you say your mommy said you should study lawyer as a career?
No, you know what I meant? You know what I said?
No. Let me... Oh,
no. You know what I said about Nigerian accent?
Okay.
Let's try it. Pidgin.
Okay. I don't know how to speak pidgin. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The fact is, your mommy said you should study lawyer as a career. Law as a career, isn't it?
Guys, if you can hear him, please raise your hand up. If you can hear him, no hand up. Okay. I can't hear you.
Okay, your mom said you should study law as a career. But the fact is, you say you are aiming to go back to law, isn't it, to study law? But the fact, how do you try to differentiate the two? In the sense that whenever you have a presentation to go for, and you're having exam, you understand, and you're having exam the same day, how do you combine the two together?
Sir, what's your name? What's your name?
Okay, that means...
You are from Ondo State.
No, I'm not from Ondo.
Where are you from?
Epe.
Now, let me try. Let me even just try and interpret this your question. Siba.
Yes, you can do that.
Chef Siba. So the young man over there is asking,
yep,
how do you differentiate or how do you choose between studying in school and cooking when there's an exam? Did I get it? Yes,
so what's the question?
Okay, like, so for instance, you're passionate about cooking, you want to cook,
No,
but then you're stuck with the pressure of, studying for an exam and, having to focus on your studies. Which do you choose?
Say it again.
Let me try in my American accent. Okay, so what he's asking basically is, how do you choose between being focused on your studies and following your food career, for instance? So as a youth, say he has exams, but then he wants to cook, he has a job or something, what does he choose?
You don't choose, you do it all.
You see? You can do it all.
You don't choose at all. Can I tell you? I had 5 jobs at university simultaneously. And I was a top student. My grades I was on a bursary, and my grades were not compromised. I realized that in Cape Town, there is a huge market for modeling, for models. So I enrolled in an agency, and I was a beauty model, did hair, did hands, did not ramp, and many other stuff. And then I was a tutor. I used to help students who were struggling with the main subjects. Patricia, I mustn't get trekked off. Let's do this.
Okay,
Keep that up for now. Let's put this aside. I was a tutor while I was a student. The tuck shop in my residence, I realized that they did not have any baked treats for the students. So I went to my headmaster and I said, can I please supply the tuck shop with treats? And he said, okay, fine, but I must make sure that I don't inconvenience other students because it was a self-catering. I didn't have any overheads to pay, no transport, because I cooked at the residence and I supplied them. So I saw opportunities where they needed to be filled and I filled them. And I still kept my grades.
Put your hands together, come on. That's what they call a power woman. Superwoman, she can do it all.
And I'm a woman.
Yes, girl, you go, girl. Okay, now we're live. We're currently live on Facebook, on Insta Live, and all of our social media platforms. So in case you have any questions, please put it up on the Facebook comment section, and then we would answer it, okay? Now, do we have another question from the audience? Let's have the lady in blue, please. This doesn't mean you're going to taste the food, or we're just going to take your question.
Well,
Good day, Chef Siba. Have
Where are
you
you?
ever had a recipe
Where
that you
is she?
tried on and you don't like it, and somebody has liked it? Will you keep the recipe or you just trashed it?
yo, I didn't understand, sorry.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying.
Did you have a recipe that you created a recipe yourself and you tried it on? You tried the recipe, you tasted it, but you don't like the recipe, and another person tasted it and it was nice to them. It was beautiful, it was delicious. Will you just keep the recipe or trash the recipe?
Oh, so okay, can I understand?
Okay, so what she's saying is, if you put together a recipe, right? And you personally do not feel it, you're not liking the recipe, and then you
Yes.
give it to someone else who tries it, and the person likes the recipe, do you keep it or do you trash it?
It depends. I don't let recipes go out of my hands until I have perfected them. Because if I don't like it and I have a trained palate because I've traveled, I'm trained, I've got this and I've got that and I've got that, and if I don't like it, chances are majority of the other people won't like it as well. Okay. So I make sure that my team knows me. We are perfectionists galore. I have an innovation kitchen down in Cape Town where all the recipes are tested, and we will do it 10 times if we have to until it is done.
Perfection is key here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
let's
don't trash it. Don't trash the recipe. Just work on it until you get it. Give it a bit more time, put it aside, and then come back to it a bit later, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so what's going on here?
So what's
So these
going
are
on
noodles,
here?
right?
So these are ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles.
And they cook literally in 2 minutes, like instant noodles. I have 2 eggs that I have whisked, some oil for salt, I mean, for flavor, and I'm going to turn this into a bun like this.
Oh, I see.
Can you see?
Oh.
Like that.
How many calories is in this meal? Because I know you cook healthy and stuff. Can you give us?
So this one, we don't count the calories. For other recipes, I can count the calories
Okay,
for
cool,
you.
no
So
problem.
forget that for today.
All right, no problem at all.
Do you want to see it again? Okay,
Oh, you wanna see
perfect.
it again? Okay. There you go. It looks so good.
Looks really good.
looks
Because
really,
it's
really
a
good.
burger. Do you count calories on burgers?
Well,
No.
Except you go to McDonald's. or
Unless if you put a lettuce on, then I'd completely understand. But under norm, not. All right.
something. It looks so good.
So what you do is you want a round shape. And often, for instance, what the guys, when they were preparing this for me, did is they put an egg shaper in and then put the pasta in. But if you don't have an egg shaper, it's absolutely fine. I like rustic. And I like food that is flawsome. Do you know what flawsome means? It's got a bit of flaws, but it's awesome. Flawsome.
Did you invent that word?
I did. But I Googled it and there is such a word. So I thought I invented it, but it's there.
All right, fantastic. Do we have any questions from the audience? Let's have the gentleman in front in red. The gentleman in front? Yeah.
Good afternoon, all. Siba, there's this myth I kind of
Chef
carried
Siba.
around. Chef Siba.
You
There's
have to
this-
put some respect on it.
Okay, sorry. There's this myth I carried around for long that most chefs don't eat what they cook. They tend to cook more for others. Are you the kind of chef that eats mostly what you cook, or the kind of chef that just love to cook for others and enjoy seeing them eat?
Both.
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 Thank you very
It is normal. If you've been in the kitchen all day, you can literally forget to eat. It's truth. It's just what it is. You're pushing to make sure that it's a job. You're pushing to make sure that everything goes out on time, and you do forget because it's crazy. It's cray-cray in the kitchen. But when I'm at home, I cook for myself, I cook for my children, and I cook to eat. So it depends what environment you're in. So I cook to eat, depending, but sometimes I cook for people to eat.
Okay. Now, talking about children, you know how they can be very fussy about food? How do you manage that?
Rolling my eyes. Oh, it's annoying. It's absolutely annoying, I tell you. My son, there's the plate. My son Lonwabo, he is now 5, and he's turning 6. When I started with Food Network, he was only 6 months. And obviously, because it's a family show, he's part of the show. And for the first 2 years, no sugar, I was the greatest mom until Uncle Viwe gave him sugar, and now all he wants is sweets. Besides that, for another bit of time, which was before he went to creche, he ate his mini trees, broccoli, munch, vegetables, everything, and he enjoyed it and he loved it. And now he picked up terrible habits from other kids in creche, and he doesn't like this, he doesn't like that.
So do you have to sing the vegetable song to
We
him?
do what we have.
Broccoli and carrots.
No,
and
it doesn't work. The
No, it
minute you
doesn't
say
work?
broccoli, he's like, nay. So you do what you have to do. You sneak them in. He loves soups, but he doesn't know it's actually vegetables. I'm the mother after all.
Aw.
Yes, we have to do what we have to do.
Of course,
Like,
of course.
seriously.
Of course. Okay, let's have another question from the audience, please. While Chef Siba. Oh, no. Before we go on to the question, what's going on here?
So in here, I've got green beans
The
that
green
I
beans,
cut
okay.
right in the middle, and should be using a wooden spoon for this.
Oh, okay.
Right in the center, and I'm just going to saute them. They take literally a short time to cook.
Okay.
And this
Am
is
I the
done.
only one who uses the wooden spoon for? I mean, other than cooking, what else do you use it for?
What else do I?
Is it a scary tool for the kids? Don't say that. Stop that right now.
Oh, all the time. You should try flying with 3 little kids. It is not easy. But you know what? I love motherhood, and I would not exchange my kids, even though it comes with lots of training, lots of disciplining, lots of repeating, lots of this, lots of that. But I really, really enjoy the time spent in the kitchen with my little ones and just being a mother. And I do find sometimes I turn out to be like my mom. It's just scary. She would say something. She used to say stuff that I see myself almost like I'm on auto and I repeat them. Like, you'll understand when you're older.
You're your mother's child.
Gosh, I am my mother's child. All right here, I've got some shimenji mushrooms that I'm going to saute slightly, and I'm going to use it as a side for...
So tell us about, there's
for my burger.
Some poisonous mushrooms apparently. What are those ones?
Well, poisonous mushrooms are mushrooms that have not yet been tested and approved for public consumption. So all mushrooms that go to retailers should be fine. But don't go around in the forest and forage for mushrooms.
Trying to be all organic and all. No, don't do that. So for all of you watching on Facebook, again, please leave your comments and we will answer them. Just put a comment in the comment section and Chef Siba is happy to answer them.
Perfect.
So
any more questions?
Yes.
Lots of questions.
Where's my assistant? Let's have the guy in the GT Bank Food and Drink shirt. What did you put in the mushrooms though?
So simple, salt and pepper with a little bit of olive oil.
Fantastic. Okay.
Chef Siba, I would like you to kind of like explain to us what gives you inspiration for plating. Personally, myself, I said the pasta, the first food you made, I wouldn't put that in a glass cup, but then I see it in glass cup, and I'm wondering, okay, so how do you create those ideas for plating?
So what's the question?
So he's asking, where did you get your inspiration for plating from? So he saw the pasta, and normally you would expect to eat pasta in a plate, but then you put it in a cup. So what led you to do that? Where'd you?
Oh, for this?
Yeah, for the pasta.
What led me to do this?
Yeah.
I come from a food styling world. So food styling is magazine world, where people can't eat your food, they can't smell it, which are that's the biggest thing you want to sell. People must smell the food, so you can go into the restaurant or at least try it, if it smells good, of course. Or at least they must taste it so that they know how it tastes like. So if you worked for a magazine as a food editor, you've got none of that. So what we were pushed to do was to make sure that the food we make is dramatically appealing. It's not chefy, because I don't cook for chefs, I cook for normal people, and it's recipes that normal people will replicate at home, and therefore they must not be intimidating, but it must be grabbing. And because this is a starter portion, it must be grabbing. I don't know, it just falls on me. It just comes and we taste it and we try it and then it works. And some stuff we Google, we see what has been done, what has been not, and then we take it from there. But I love presentation. Cooking is great and is amazing, but you've done all the work. Now you have to serve it. It must taste good. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Do you eat trifle? Is trifle a big thing in Nigeria? Not so much. Tiramisu? What other dessert? Pavlova? Okay, cool. Let's say the big desserts. This is the thing. If you are going to make that as a dessert and serve it, please take it like Miss Sibalicious. I'm pretending that this is the dessert. And place it on your table before people dig in. Don't serve it in the kitchen. You know that?
Why?
Because by the time you serve it, it doesn't look nice. If you serve it on small bowls or small things, it looks terrible. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen that? Something served in the kitchen, especially if it's a home cooking, you've made this wonderful dessert, looks great, you only see it and then you start cutting it. By the time they see it, it looks bleh.
I think like maybe a minced pie perhaps. When you cut it up, if it's not like formed, then it can look funny. So I think that's the perfect example for one of.
Okay, for you guys. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm finishing this off.
With the meat.
This has rested a bit. It goes on top. And I've got some sriracha mayo. Let's move all these things aside so you can see it quite well. This is mayonnaise with just sriracha, and I'm going to top it with some rocket. Let's see what we have. Do we have some rocket, please?
Rockets?
If we don't have rocket, it's not a problem. We're just going to use the spring onions.
Spring onions. Oh, okay.
Spring onions right on top, and you have a perfect meal.
There you go.
Number 2. There we go.
Chef Siba, should we get tasting? Should we start tasting?
We can.
Okay.
In actual fact, I think that they're preparing the tasters right there. I want you to see this. This is now a complete option. Chefs, can we please just clear so that we can have a clean aisle? So if you are serving this to lots of people and it's not a main meal, this is what I usually do. I'd usually make tiny little ones like this. Can you see them? And it gets to be quite a lot, and I make them in big bouts, especially if I'm doing a catering for an event or anything of that sort. And I top it
They look so pretty.
with some soy mayo, top it with some soy mayo, some rocket, a little bit of the patty, and more greens on top. And I've got a perfect canapé from the main dish. So it's exactly the same ingredients, exactly the same thing, but this one made big, this one made smaller. And it's the same thing with this. You can dish this in a bowl, and you can eat it as a main course. So it's just to give people more options.
I'd like to try that.
Yep.
So that you all are envious of me.
Cool. You can actually try it.
Let's have it. Let's
Have. Would you like to try now?
Yes,
Perfect.
Sure. Go ahead.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. Oh my. Haha.
They're also going to try it, so...
Not all of them.
Oh, shame, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm just being mean.
Now, getting to my last dish for the day, it is what I call a cheesecake. It's one of the recipes I created because I could not wait for 2 hours to bake a cheesecake, and I came up with this, and I top it with a meringue base. I'm going to ask Chef Patricia, or you, madam, to help me with the meringue in the meantime, or rather let me start with the meringue because that's where I want to focus my attention on for this last bit. Who's ever made a meringue before? Hands up.
I've eaten it. Does it matter?
Have you eaten it?
I have.
Okay, a few. All right. Now, a meringue is simply just egg whites with some sugar, basically, that has been whipped together to create some, to create this beautiful, fluffy, white meringue, raw meringue at least. That's what it is. And I make a cheesecake that I bake for only 5 minutes, depending how many people are coming, or maximum, it's usually 15 to 20 minutes. And usually it would take 2 hours and many other stuff to make your cheesecake, and I top it with this meringue base. And I'm going to start to talk you through it, and then the chefs are going to do it, and I'll take you the other step. So the first thing you need is you need 4 white eggs, but we're making a small one, so we'll only need 2 egg whites, not white eggs. 2 egg whites. And when you separate the egg whites, do you have a bigger one? Do you have a bigger one, a bigger thing? No? Yes? The bigger the better, like seriously, when you're making meringues, because you're incorporating air into your eggs in order to give them some volume. So the bigger they are, the better. So it is the egg. And to stabilize the egg, you can add a little bit of cream of tartar if needs be. And I often do that if I know that it's going to sit for quite a long time. And to make them even whiter, you add a little bit of lemon juice. Now, this is the thing when it comes to meringues. You must make sure that the bowl is clean. There isn't even a small speckle of the yolk in it, because the yolk has fatty acids in it, not fatty acid, but some fats in it that then retards the growth of your meringue. And the bowl must be clean as well. All right, we've got that. Cool.
So
And then, not yet, we whip it. And then when we get to the soft peak stage, we add some sugar, 2 tablespoons at a time.
So we're gonna whip it to the point where it doesn't move anymore, right?
More.
Right?
I'll show you.
Okay.
I will show you. Let's get there. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to line the base of my pan.
Okay.
Do we have a second one? Second pan, please, Patricia.
A second pan.
Let me do this. Okay. Now this is the soft peak stage. Can you see? It's a peak, but it's quite soft because it kind of falls off as you take it up. Now you're going to add some sugar. Your sugar is different from ours. Is this caster sugar?
Some sugar, okay.
Some sugar. Ideally, you would add caster sugar, 2 tablespoons at a time. Beat, beat, beat. Any more questions while we do this?
Okay, let's take some questions. Let's have the lady at the back, please, in brown.
So you can cut it.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
Okay. You said you do LD food. I'm right here. You said you do LD food. So I want to know, do you separate it, the LD meals from the regular meals as a business? Or the LD food is just for your mother?
Okay, so what she's asking is, because you do healthy food, do you separate healthy food from unhealthy food, or do you just do healthy food for your mom? Did I get it?
Yes, please.
So, food should be wholesome. So I'm not sure what often the definition of health is for most people. Some people would think having a salad with a strip of green beans maybe and whatnot is healthy, but it's actually quite the contrary. I believe that food should be wholesome. It should include different foods from the different food groups, making sure we've got enough carbs to keep us for the day, because we need the energy for us to, we need enough energy for us to work and to function, and lots of vegetables, lots of greens, lots of different vegetables, cooked and raw, some protein, whether it be meat or even protein that is plant if you don't eat meat, and a little bit of fat. So it should be a whole balanced meal, and you must eat in moderation. And food does not stand on its own. Food stands, can carry on, food stands with exercise as well. Mm-hmm. I exercise in the mornings. I take a run. We're very blessed in Cape Town. We run by the beach, which is awesome. But if it is winter, I then go inside the gym in order for me to exercise. So it should be a holistic lifestyle, not just taking out, not eating carbs and wanting to lose weight. And it should never be about weight loss, but health overall, so that by the time we are go-go's means elderly people, we still have the energy, we're still healthy, we're still fine. So I believe in more holistic diet than just taking things out for weight loss.
So it's all about a healthy lifestyle.
An overall healthy lifestyle.
Fantastic. I want to take some comments, or some expressions rather, from people who have tried the food. Okay? So now, how is the food? What do you think?
The burger was juicy. The pasta was scary at first. But then it was mind-blowing. Yes, and I felt out of this world.
Oh, fantastic. Mind-blowing is the word she used. Chef Siba, did you hear that? You've blown her mind away.
Oh, really?
Okay. So
Oh,
let's
yay.
get a
Thank
comment
you.
from the gentleman here.
A great combination of flavors. God, very nice.
Fantastic. Okay, let's have a comment from the young lady here as well.
Tastes delicious.
Nice. Are you done? Do you wanna give a comment?
Do it more.
Yeah. Did you try it?
She said
You
it.
tried? Okay. So what do you think? Please help me pass my microphone.
Yeah, it's delicious and the flavors work well together. Really nice.
Okay, so that's fine. Everyone is loving it so far. Now, we only have like 5 minutes more to finish up, Chef Siba. So we have to...
It's noisy.
It's
Sorry,
noisy?
I can't
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
Let me come closer. Now, I'm just going to ask the audience one question, just for them to try the dessert, right? So we're all paying attention. Can you please tell us, who can tell us the ingredients for the noodle burger, is it?
Burger.
Burger.
What do you call it? Burger?
Burger?
Burger.
Burger. Okay, so who can tell us that? Okay, let's see. Just to be sure that we're all taking notes and we're all paying attention. To be sure we don't have F9 students here.
Okay, she made a ramen burger.
Okay.
I think it's from Korean origin or something. But then the ingredients were minced meat.
Okay.
She said with a little fat, pork fat, ginger and garlic, her favorite ingredients, spring onions, soy sauce, and in place of that you could use salt, pepper, carrots.
Okay.
There was vegetable oil, ideally not olive oil.
Okay.
And then she whisked some eggs, 2 eggs, and salt, and mixed them with the ramen noodles.
You're
Actually,
really
she
paying
said
attention.
the noodles were to cook for 2 minutes. Yes, not to overcook. There were green beans by the corner,
Okay.
mushrooms, tomato mushrooms.
Okay, you were paying attention. Okay. Please
She's
put your
a good
hands
student.
together for
We'll give her that. She's a very good student. She's paying attention.
Chef Siba, she's coming after. I mean, she's coming. She's entering the market once this class is over. She's
Oh,
gonna become
yay.
a chef.
Chef Siba, sorry, a quick question. I tasted the pasta as well as the burger. I noticed that we used minimal salt. You didn't use any stock, you didn't use any seasoning. The soy sauce, it could work for that, right?
Okay, let me
I
explain.
really get tripped off with the accent. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to ask her
Okay,
what the
Okay,
question is.
So what she's saying is you didn't use any seasoning, any salt.
For what?
It's for the pasta. So is the soy sauce sufficient for all of the flavors?
Yes,
and
because
the
it's
seasonings?
quite salty. Soy sauce is salty. It is a seasoning. So if you have soy sauce in, you don't need any salt in it. But if you are going to put salt, rather not put the salt if you're going to have the soy sauce. Well, either or. All right. Now I don't have much time. I have 2 minutes, and I'm going to put everything together. We've got the meringue, and can I test if whether it's been well done?
No, we need to try it on someone's head.
No, we don't have the time. So if it is well done, it must actually not fall off.
Yes!
So at culinary school, our teacher we used to whip it by hand, and our teacher lecturer would come to us and say, put it on top of your head, and you would dread the moment because it's quite hard to do it by hand. Perfect, we've got the meringue. Now, we've got some biscuits, which we processed, and then I mixed it with coconut that I lightly toasted. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Chef Siba,
All right.
what does that taste like? I want to try that. What does
Want
it
to
taste
try
like?
it?
Yeah.
You can try it. And then you just need a little bit of butter to put everything together. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. I just need to make sure that everything has come together very well. Is that the curd? Perfect. And then Patricia has been awesome on the side, and we have cream cheese.
Well done, Patricia.
Your cream cheese looks different than ours. Yours is much lighter. Ours is slightly darker in color. We've got some cream cheese and with some lemon and the zest of a lemon
And then you
in
put
it, and of
condensed
course
milk.
some condensed milk
Condensed
for taste. All right.
Are we in there?
So these go together, and Let's put that aside. You must make sure that your pan is completely lined. So this goes on top. And tap, tap, it goes into the oven and it bakes for 5 minutes. Can you believe it? 5 minutes this bakes, or 7 minutes maximum, depending on yours. And the last bit that we go, and this is how it should look like. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. And I've got my meringue base. You could add some lemon curd as a layer if you like, with some strawberries. And I just finished it off with this. You could put this back into the oven, or you can blowtorch it. Put it on because it's different from mine.
Oh, this is
yes.
the exciting part.
Kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no?
We cannot afford technical difficulties now. Anyway, this gets blowtorched, literally just to make sure this is browned, and you've got a Siba-licious dessert. 3-course meal in an hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Now we're going to pass out some food for you to try. Thank you so much, Chef Siba. It's been awesome. Put your hands together, please, for Chef Siba.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
There we go. It's not working. Happened before. It happens. It happens. Don't worry. It happens. But the food looks amazing, which is the most important thing. Thank you. Was Oh, is it working? Perfect. Look at this. Perfect.